Hello, welcome back. I'm Byron. This is Sid Meier's Civilization 3 Conquests. Playing as the Macedonians on the Rise of Rome campaign. 25 turns left, 250 points ahead. Yeah, I think we got this. If we could just conquer Elysia for some security. Oh, chicken culture. That's cool. That's a cool thing to check. Power. Yeah, I miss the histogram. I can make you famous on histogram. Alright, so today's topic, today's top 10. This is the top 10 segment of the show for you new viewers. It's the top 10, it's what I've been working on for a while, because it takes a while to see all these things and sort of organize them. The top 10 audio commentaries for television shows. Now that, admit it, that's a good one. I don't know, I like, this is becoming, what I didn't want it to become, it's just becoming a list of shows and games and books I like. Including the monologue segment. I don't know why I call it the monologue segment. It's all monologue, but I call it the monologue segment. Monologue, news, and comment, if there are any comments. Top 10. So I need to start. My next one, I think, is going to be also books I like. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Anyway, top 10 audio commentaries. Number 10, Two Cathedrals, The West Wing. This one, it's just a great episode of television. The commentary is pretty good. They talk a lot about things. How Jed puts on his shirt, that was a cool one. And they go back in time and see all that stuff. That's fun. There's not so much about the commentary. Some of these are more about the episode of the commentary. But it has commentary, and the commentary is good. Before I go on, I'd like to give an honorable mention to something that didn't make the list, and that is the commentaries for Everybody Loves Raymond, which are pretty good. So number 9 is Mr. F from Arrested Development. They call Jeffrey Tambor. It's really funny. A lot of the commentaries for Arrested Development are funny. They mention jokes that I just was not able to catch myself. One is when they circle each other. I think that's hilarious now that I notice it. That when they start circling each other when they talk, especially Michael and Job. I like to do that just in my regular life, but I'm rarely having a confrontational conversation in which circling is appropriate. Anyway, number 8 is from the Dick Van Dyke Show, Never Bathe on a Sunday. That's Carl Reiner. Carl Reiner's great. And he talks about talks about the fights he had with Mary Tyler Moore, because Mary Tyler Moore, it was her episode, but she wasn't actually in the episode. Apparently she was very frustrated by this and started a fight, and that caused a lot of problems. Just a quality episode and good tidbits. And it's also where he claims that people swear to him that they saw her naked. But, again, that was actually on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, that she was naked in a bath. I think that was the sleeping pill episode. I I don't think there was just a bath episode. Although there may have been. So, number 7. The Mad Real World. That's not what the episode's called, but it's just what the episode is. From Chappelle's Show. Good commentaries typically happen on episodes that you personally did not find that funny. The commentary does enlighten a bit as to why it's supposed to be funny, which sort of helps you if you weren't getting it. But it also, it's just, you see why the actors liked it, and it's funny. Although one thing I did love from the Chappelle Show was his Greatest Misses episode, where he talks about in show sketches that didn't quite work. I love the holla. Holla, 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 holla. I love that episode. That sketch. Holla, 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 holla. And the Gay Americas with the landscaper, with the gay landscaper pushing the car, the lawnmower. That's hilarious. Anyways, the Mad Real World. It has a lot. They love Charlie Murphy. The Neil Brennan and Dave Chappelle love Charlie Murphy, and that's similar to Dick Van Dyke and Carl Reiner almost. Except Dick Van Dyke did not write the show the way Dave Chappelle does. But there's one person. There's one man. That's how a lot of audio commentaries work, especially for shows that did not plan on doing audio commentary. They just threw one together. It's the head writer and the lead actor. In this case, Neil Brennan and Dave Chappelle. And another one that sort of works like that, sort of has that dynamic of writer / actor. Chappelle is a writer of the show and the lead performer. But he also has he shares pretty much equally, I guess, his writing duties with Neil Brennan. And that also works with Jerry Seinfeld and Larry David, and also Ray Romano and Phil Rosenthal. I am unaware of any shows that do this now. Trying to think. Maybe you, Louie, if that's still a show. I know the Sunny guys. I think they write their own stuff. Sunny is, I think, one of the only funny improvised shows. The rest of them, I think the writing process, but I think it's largely scripted when it goes out, and that they just sort of, the rewrite happens on the floor, on the stage. Because, and Arrested Development, even though it's not a 3-camera sitcom, it still goes through 3-camera sitcom style of writing with rewrites and the table reads and all that. I love sitcoms. I think, yes, I did mention this. Anyway, Mad Real World. They love Charlie Murphy. And, I'm just going to quote some of the stuff from the audio commentary, which is what people do when they talk about the Chappelle Show, so it's what I want to do here. Talk about the audio commentary for the Chappelle Show. One thing they say about Charlie Murphy is he knows a lot of prison-y shit. They said, yeah, I did my time. No, wait, no, the thing that made the show is, yeah, I went to prison. But the line Charlie Murphy came up with that they did not air was, I did my time. My time did not do me. But then that makes more sense. That makes the line where it says he's being put in a sleeper hold, and then it cuts to him and he says, because I didn't get this at the first time until I heard the audio commentary. Maybe I should have. I was very young when it came out. It says, man, if you ever get in a sleeper hold, oh crap, if you ever get in a sleeper hold, when you wake up in the morning, your butt's gonna hurt. And the other thing I talk about is how Charlie Murphy, they said how Charlie Murphy told them how he hates being around comedians because they'll always just start slashing at each other, trying to be the funniest. But then they say that's sort of ironic because he came up with on the spot when the white guy's leaving. He says, "Get out of here, fat ass, before I cut some bacon off your back," which is just the most vicious line anyone's ever come up with. And yet he's the guy who hates those vicious lines that comedians always come up with. Anyway, great episode, great commentary. Not such a great episode, actually. If you don't watch the episode, watch it with the commentary. It's much better. And likewise, number 6, Cooter from 30 Rock. This one has Jack McBrayer and Jenna Maloney? Jenna Maroney. That is the character's name. The actress's name is a weird name that I can't remember. She was apparently a young child in the Vacation movies. In case you didn't know. But there's just Jeffrey Berry is pretty funny, and all the commentaries he does for 30 Rock are pretty funny. But this one is hilarious because he keeps ragging on Jane Krasinski. That's it. Or is that might be the character that plays Jim on The Office? What's his name? I don't know. I'm gonna just assume it's Jane Krasinski is her name, the actress's name. Anyway, they talk about the humble brags, which is really funny. I see, and I sort of got it when I saw it, but I didn't realize just how in depth they went with the idea of a humble brag on these episodes. There was cause I don't know, I guess I didn't catch it the first time when I saw it alone, but she said, "You are beautiful, I see myself in you," which is hilarious. Anyway, well, I love these other commentaries, but I guess I'm not expressing my loathing quite. I'm just quoting them, saying what happens in them. I don't know. What is this supposed to be? What is a top 10 list to be? I think this does work as a top 10 list. Just not going that in depth as to why. Just saying, what are your top 10 things, and talking about them for a bit, about just what they are. And I think for the topic, I may go in more in-depth things. Anyway, so number 5, Basil the Rat, which is from Faulty Towers. And and there's 2 commentaries for each episode of Faulty Towers. One with whoever's directing that series, as they call it in Britain. We call it a season here in America, because that's the right thing to do. But he hadn't seen the show in a while, and by the episode before, which is the anniversary episode, most of the episode is just him cracking up. But then I think by the time with Basil the Rat, he doesn't say anything. He just laughs at all the jokes. Oh, here's the mandatory retirement year. The game is coming to a close, and it looks like I'm going to win. Let's see. Carthage has less population, less area. He can't get domination unless he really books it. And he still has, like, streaming bits of Rome coming at him. That's one risk of attacking Rome, is that it frees up Carthage to expand in other ways. Carthage no longer has to deal with Rome. And, but I think the attack on Gaul I will gain more than he can during the attack and go. And oh, I turned the difficulty down, didn't I? I remember. So this isn't a glorious victory if I win. Who knows? Anyway, Basil the Rat, he's just laughing again and again and again at all the jokes. And I watched Fawlty Towers again recently, and I remember like big final jokes to each episode. But when I watched it, like the episode with the duck and the beat in the tree, where he says ducks off. I thought, and what was it? The anniversary party where she walks in, where Sybil walks in, he goes, "Ah, we were just talking about you." You're not going to get any of these jokes unless you've seen the episode. And then the Basil the Rat episode where he says, "Would you care for a rat?" And several others. But there's a big joke at the end, and I always remember that being the end of the episode. But it never was. It always went just a couple lines more to sort of slow down. I don't know if they did that on purpose. I mean, they could have just ended the episode right at the big joke, because they always do cut away, and they always do it right after a pretty funny joke, but they don't do it after the big joke, which I thought they did, because they could have done it if they wanted to. There must be a reason they added they added, or rather kept, those extra lines in. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm running out of time, but it's okay because the last four have a bit of a pattern to them. Let's see if you can figure it out. Number 4, Treehouse of Horror 5, which is the best Treehouse of Horror. David Merkin is an amazing audio commentator. I just turned off the future tech because I'm not going to get it, so there's no reason to research science. He's just really funny when he comments on the stuff. And Treehouse of Horror 5 is hilarious, and it's wild and crazy, just like David Merkin. And Voot Voot, they talk about that when Homer does that. And there's Streetcar Named Marge, which has John Lovitz. And John Lovitz is hilarious. Most of the stuff he does is make fun of Al Jean and Mike Reese for being gay. He does the same thing in number 2, A Star Is Burns. And I have not seen The Critic and their audio commentaries. I really, really should, because it's probably hilarious, just like these two episodes. And Hank Azaria is in the Streetcar Named Marge episode commentary, which is great. I like my character. What? Hank Azaria had a sitcom on Showtime. I forget what it was called, but they reference it. He references it in one of these. See me in Hitch, Hank. This is an alright show. Anyway, number 1 is Marge vs. the Monorail. This is actually a hidden audio commentary track featuring Conan O'Brien. And Conan O'Brien is just going nuts. And he says how he can never live down I Call the Big One Bitey, and also how he talks about how much he hates old people. And then somebody goes, "Are there any other minorities you would like to disparage?" And then he says, "Old people, unfortunately, are not a minority." Which is hilarious. Anyway, audio commentaries are great. I love them. You should go out and see them. I've got 5 seconds left, so there's nothing left for me to say, but goodbye.